came across this YouTube channel that's making between 21 and 62,000 a month, so that got my attention, and I started looking at the videos, and they are very simple. They're something like this.
While others were free to grow, you were fighting to survive. Your mind was learning how to stay safe while theirs was learning how to thrive. That's not your fault. Those without deep trauma had a different path. There's a theory called the last meeting. Once you and someone you loved have learned what you needed.
This seems pretty automatable, so I decided, why not? Let's try to automate a YouTube channel that makes videos like this.
Life is a dance of becoming, where each step shapes who we are. To grow is to shed pieces of who we were.
And so I can show you the full workflow. It's a bit big, but I'll go step by step. So the first thing I did is to actually collect a bunch of images and I'll label them according to an emotion. For example, if I open the love, we have more couple related ones, like this one. I removed all the audio, I just kept the video. And I did this for a bunch of them, getting from Disney, animes and other. For example, in the ambient we have some Ghibli studio. Like this. So this is the first step, and I have all these folders. And then I start breaking down the process. If I go to my n8n, we can see we start by generating a script with the clips. We then select a clip and generate a voiceover, and we add a voiceover to the clip. We then combine the videos, all the parts. We apply a voice filter, we apply a video filter, we change the aspect ratio and add subtitles. And lastly, we choose and add the music. Let's see this step by step. So first, we just start by clicking and we have immediately an AI agent. For the AI agent, since I wanted the script to be very similar to the ones we just saw, I actually went to the channel, I changed this to be like this so that we can actually go to the video page instead of just the shorts page. From there, we can just go here, more, and show the transcript. I then removed the timestamps and I copied the whole script, and that way we have the actual script of the videos and I can give that to GPT. So I did it for 5 or 6, and then I had the following prompt. Create a new script in the same style but slightly longer, about 20 blocks. Each script should be comprised of sentences followed by the mood that best fits them from the following list, using exactly the words below: love, family, motivation, sad or ambient. If you don't know which mood is best, use ambient. Give me a title for the video that ends with the hashtags, and then I just saw the hashtags that were used on the other channel. Keep the sentence small to medium. So what's the idea here? You can see each video from here is actually a block of a video with a voiceover and the captions. So let's see.
While others were free to grow, you were fighting to survive. Your mind was...
So we can see just changed to another clip as the sentence ended. So what we want is GPT to give us a bunch of these blocks. And if we go to the output, we can see we have the voiceover. So for example, to grow is to shed pieces of who we were. So we can see we have here about 19 of these pieces. We have here 20 actually because of this starting at 0. And then we have the title of the video. I'm also using a structure parser just to make sure the structure is correct. And you can see we have the title, and then it's followed by the several scenes, and each scene has a voiceover and a mood. So we now have a block with the voiceover it needs and the mood of the clip it should get. So we just split this. It's entering as 1, and then we can see we have 20 items that are coming out. And then we start looping. So what looping does is going actually one by one on the clips. So each looping iteration will have something like this. If I go for video 1, we can see we are passing the voiceover and the mood. And this allows me to do a bunch of things specifically for that one clip. So the first thing I do is to search files. So I connected my Google Drive account and I'll just query the mood. For example, you can see all here say motivation. And what I'm doing, just simply searching a file or folder name. And we can see I have a folder called motivation and I have the clips. Since I only want the clips, after getting all of this, I have to actually filter. And I filter to only match those that have the extension MP4. So I'll just give it the name that we just got from before, the list, and we filter anyone that contains the MP4. As a result, we will have one less item because it removed the folder, and then we go to next step, which is a sort. In here, I'm doing a sort random. The idea is just, I want to choose a random clip, so I'll just sort this list in random way, and then I'll get the first clip. And in here, I'm actually doing that. I'm joining them all in one list again. And then I do an edit field, and we use this little bit of JSON to just get the first item, which is just this one. So now I have the ID of the video. I then go to the voiceover, and I'm calling 11 Labs. If you don't know, 11 Labs is an API you can use. I go in here, you sign up or log in, and you can click on Developers, API Keys, and you copy your API key. After this, you'll go back to your n8n, you click here, you click Create a new credential, and you just paste that value here, and you'll be ready to use 11 Labs. So then I have a voice ID, and you're in 11 Labs. You'll have voices that you can choose. For example, if I go here and I'll play something.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate.
So if I wanted to use this voice, what I would do is to go here, copy the voice ID, and then go back and just paste it. And lastly, I'll just give it the actual voiceover that's coming from before. The output will be a new MP3 file with our voiceover. So then I just upload it. I have a temporary folder. I just upload it to my temporary folder, and the voiceover is done. So now we need to actually get the clip and put the voiceover on the clip. Everything related to editing in here, I'm actually using my own API. So I have an API that you can run on your computer with Docker. You can see my school community for more details on to actually do that. And the advantage is that if you're running on your computer, you don't have to pay for anything. So if I open, I can see the first thing I do is the add voiceover. It expects to receive a video URL and an audio URL. So I'll just give it the two, and then it starts actually joining them. As you can see, we have a result, but this result doesn't mean it's immediately done. It just means the voiceover job has started. So we then have to do what it's called pooling, where we wait a few seconds. In this case, we're just waiting 30 seconds. And after that, we use the job status endpoint, where we call the job status with the ID we got from before, from the voice ID. And we can check if it's done and if it's completed. Once it's completed, it goes to the next if. Again, if the status is equal to complete, it goes to the next step. If it's not, it just goes over to the wait and repeats this process until it's done. After that is done, we then do a request, and this request is to get the actual video with the voiceover, and we can view it.
Your story is still being written, and it's more beautiful than you realize.
So this is one block. We take that block, we upload the block to the drive. You can see it's again on our temporary folder. And then we go back to the loop over items. So this just repeats for every block we have. And we have at the end a bunch of blocks, each with its own voiceover. Once the loop over items is done, we do an aggregation. So we get from the loop over items, we actually get the drive links that for the videos we just uploaded. So you can see we have 20 links here. And we just get this one field. So if you don't know, you just go to the link. In this case, we want this web content link, and you will just grab and drag and drop, or just write it. And we aggregate only individual fields because we only want this one. So what's next? We then do another request. This time is to join the videos. We have a list of videos, as you can see here. And this endpoint join videos expects to receive a list of URLs, and then it gets the videos and combines it into one. So you can see here what was being passed is the URLs, and then I just dragged and dropped this web content link like this, drag and drop, and you can see it's now passing a list of URLs. I added this little bit of JavaScript, you just need to copy and paste. And what this does is to actually transform this into a format that n8n can understand. So it's submitted, and you can see now it's actually looping. It's waiting about 30 seconds again. Then it's checking if the result is done. In this case, since the result is not done yet, if we go here, it's going back and it's starting again. You can see it just went again and just finished. So we do an HTTP request to download the file, and this is a result.
Life is a dance of becoming, where each step shapes who we are. To grow is to shed pieces of who we were.
So I'm not going to see everything, but you can see we now have a video that we upload this again to our Google Drive temporary folder. After this temporary folder, we now need to actually apply the voice filter. if you listen to these videos, the voice is not normal.
Mind was learning how to stay safe while theirs was learning how to thrive.
So I just created a quick little filter, and we have this endpoint, which is voice filters. And what I'm going to send it is the new URL, which is for the video just downloaded and uploaded, so we just get it from the previous step. And we can see we can now tell them to pass the arguments filter type and the value radio, and this will apply a radio effect to the voice. So you can see once again it's looping, so the same cycle as before. We wait 30 seconds, we check the job status, again, always making sure we are checking for the last job. And then we have the if, and if it's not done yet, just goes back to the wait. So now it's done, let's check the result.
Life is a dance of becoming, where each step shapes who we are. To grow
So you can see it has much more of that radio effect, and again we're just downloading the video, the same endpoint as before, and we upload once again to our Google Drive temporary folder. So next we change the aspect ratio. You can see on these videos they're actually kinda square.
That's not your fault.
We don't need to actually create a 9:16 video, we can just create a square video, and I have this endpoint, which is called video aspect ratio, where I can just give it the link, again the link from the video we just did before. We can give it the aspect ratio we want to use, in this case 1:1, and the scale mode is to fill, so it will grow until it touches both sides. So the same process as before, it's done the request, it's waiting, we're again just checking the status to see if everything gets done, and then it goes back to the if it's not, it goes to the wait, if it is, it just moves forward. It's been a bit, and now we can see it's done, so let's check the result. Again, we just do the download.
Life is a dance of becoming, where each step shapes who we are. To grow is to shed pieces of who we were.
We can see now all the clips are squared, so we can move to the next step. Again, we just download and we upload the file to the temporary folder, and then we apply the video filter. Here the video filter is a bit different. I wanted to copy those old CTR monitors, so I created an effect to do that. And this endpoint, it's the video filters. It receives an URL, it receives the filter type, which in this case is just CRT, and then we have some parameters that control how the video actually feels. So you just have to mess around a bit with this. These are the values that work best for me. So we send this, it again goes to the same familiar pooling strategy where it's just checking if it's done, and if it's not, it goes back to the wait, if it is, it goes forward. So let's give it a minute to actually complete. It's still running, we can actually go here and see the progress, it says 35, then usually it goes very fast, but just need to wait for a bit. Okay, so now it's done, let's check the results.
Life is a dance of becoming, where each step shapes who we are.
So you can see the little lines, which are the filter we are actually using. After this, next step is to actually add the subtitles. So if you go to the channel, we can see there are always subtitles.
Those without deep trauma had a different path.
So you want to add something similar to that. If you go back, we have this endpoint. It is add subtitles. And for that, we just need to give it the following arguments. So we give it the URL as before from the video we just uploaded to the Google Drive. Give it the position, in this case we want it to be centered, a font size, the outline width, and then the colors we want for the line and for the letters. We send a request, and again we start pulling. Now that it's done, we can check the result. More of the same, just use the download and give it job ID, and let's see the result.
Life is a dance of becoming, where each step shapes who we are. To grow is to shed pieces of who we were.
So you can see the subtitle is working pretty well, and we can move to the next step. Next step is to actually choose and add the music. For that, we can do a search. In this case, I have a bunch of nostalgic songs, which are here. A songs folder, so I'll do the same as before. I'll just get all the folders and files that are with nostalgic song. Then I filter. I make sure they end in MP3, and the result is a bunch of items. I then sort these items, again to get a random one. I aggregate, so that they're all in the list. And then I use the JavaScript from before to actually get the first one. After this, I need to call the next endpoint, which is the add music. So for that, I need to give it the video URL, which is just the one we uploaded to Drive before. I then need to give it the music URL, so I have to actually write this part and the export download, and then I give it the ID we just got from before. And then I give it a music volume and an information saying if it should loop the music in case it ends, which in this case never does because the videos are very small. So after this, the same as before, pooling starts. We just constantly check if the job ID is done. So let's give it a minute and it will finish. Now it's done and we can actually download and see the final video, which is this one.
Life is a dance of becoming, where each step shapes who we are. To grow is to shed pieces of who we were. Sometimes we lose ourselves to find something new. Change is constant, even when it feels like loss. We meet people who mirror parts of us we haven't met yet. They teach us lessons without saying a word. Some connections last a lifetime, others a moment in time, but all leave marks on the heart we carry forward. We try to hold on to what feels safe, even when it's breaking us. Fear whispers that starting over is harder than staying. Yet growth always demands courage, the courage to let go. Love isn't about perfect harmony, but learning to dance through the discord. True connection happens when we accept the imperfections. Family isn't only blood, it's the people who choose to stay through storms. Healing begins the moment we stop blaming and start understanding. In the quiet, we find strength to rewrite our story. You are never just one version of yourself, but a mosaic of all your moments. And that you can't read every story about you. Each one matters deeply. Keep dancing, keep evolving. The next step is always waiting. Your story is still being written, and it's more beautiful than you realize.
So you can see this is pretty similar to the videos you just see. The next step is just to upload it to a file. In this case, you're just uploading. In this case, you'd want to actually change this to be the final folder. So in here I have temp, but I want this to be final. And then the next step would just be to actually upload to YouTube or use some sort of scheduling tool. You can see my last video how I'm actually scheduling my content, and you just keep uploading this. I'm actually going to do this for 30 days. I'm going to take a channel I have with 500 subscribers, and I'm going to update you after 1 month how much views, how much subscribers, and all of that we've got. So I hope this is helpful. If you want more instructions on how to actually run the video API, or if you just want to overall learn more about AI and AI automation, you can join my Stool community. It's free for now, and I'm going to add some challenges there. And I hope this is helpful, and thanks for watching. See you soon.